going live any minute. Unless I did it wrong. Nope, I didn't. We're good. We're live. I did it right.
Cool.
I think it sounds good. There's a slight delay if you ever try to watch the video. It'll kind of throw you off.
Interesting.
What were we just talking about? It was pretty. What were we saying?
The polar bears.
Oh no. Yeah, I was saying that. I was telling her that if you see a polar bear, if you're not in a zoo or in some sort of controlled habitat, and you see a polar bear where it lives, you're fucked. You're a dead man. They don't give a fuck if they're hungry or not. They're gonna kill your ass. You're gonna die. Same with, she was saying she saw that moose. There's a moose video going viral. She's all shit in her pants because she's never seen a dinosaur like that. And she's like, I want
gentle, like a gentle giant.
But they're not.
Horse.
I told her, no, they're not. They'll fuck you up.
Wanted to pet one.
If you see a moose,
Kyle crushes dreams.
No,
he
nature
say
does.
Sure.
If you see a moose, you're fucked. You're pretty much fucked. I mean, you have a better chance than a polar bear because it's just flat, and you can't outrun a polar bear, and you can't outswim it. I mean, if you jump in the water, you're gonna freeze to death.
What
anyway.
if I just ride the moose? How is it gonna attack me on?
If you could get on the, that's some zoo shit. People will carry you through the streets, and they'll celebrate you. They'll have a fucking day for you, like. For sure, hunters and like outdoorsmen
I'm
like
just
this.
Thinking ahead of the game.
This chick rode a moose, but
I feel like I'd probably fall and break myself or something.
no. You gotta get rid. I found out. I'm still always experimenting with sound. I realized that there's a gain button on there. So saying like some people have powerful voices and they just put out a lot. Like they can be back here and like Heatland's got a powerful voice. I don't make a lot of noise. I always fucking talk. I make a lot of noise, it's not very loud. So you gotta get right up in there. And I tried this new thing. You see these little things? They're different. You ever notice I always have those little pop filters?
They're the big ones.
Those are kind of pretentious to me. So I went with these. I think I like them better.
I feel like a DJ.
But you can get your lips right up on there. And I feel like, yeah, exactly. You feel like, yeah. So, but I think I got it down to where you can hear me. My gain is turned up a little bit more than everybody else's, but I knew you were a girl, so I was like, and you talk real softly. So we turned your gain up a little bit. I think we got it about right.
Good thing you guys got prepared. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do talk kind of soft.
Yeah, you do.
know.
But back to this fucking moose business. She sees the moose, viral clip of the moose walking down the road, and wants to touch the moose, and mooses are fucking vicious animals. Like mooses, hippos, polar bears, which is like Coca-Cola fuck people up. Like if you grew up in the Coca-Cola era and you love polar, because think about it, polar bears are all happy.
So cute.
They're sliding around, drinking Cokes, fucking just sharing
That's
smiles.
what bears do, Kyle.
That's why those two little boys watched their dad get eaten alive by a polar bear like 3 months ago.
See, that's why we're two different people. I try not to see those things.
It's just happened. I was
know
reading it
happens.
just came across, but
like I'm sure it happens, and I'm just like, that fucking sucks. But hey, that's life, and it happens. But since it's part of life, I just don't want to be that part.
But if you're those two kids and you ever watch a Coca-Cola commercial,
That's
polar
what
bears
I'm
again, you're gonna be like, man, fuck Coca-Cola and fuck those polar bears.
But I'm not those two kids, Kyle.
Isn't it? Yeah, but it's kind of weird if you think about it. Some animals there's like a hippo, hungry hippos, and the polar bear. Like they're cute. I would think they'd be nice. Like giraffes are nice.
Giraffes, you can pet them.
Dolphins are nice, but those animals will fuck you up for no reason. Like I watched a video of a hippo.
Hippos, yeah.
It was a hippo. There was like, it was like a little deer thing. I don't know what it was, but it was stuck. It was so close to the shore running from these hyenas, but it got so far in the mud, the hyenas were like, damn, if we go after it, we'll get stuck in the mud too. But we can't get to it. We want this little fucker.
Share this.
Oh, we can go for it. And so the hippo, like, he can just go through whatever mud. I don't give a shit. The hippo literally just reaches over with his face, breaks this little deer's back with his mouth, and just throws the deer to the hyenas like, here you go. Dead serious. Hippos are fucking nasty things. And they kill people. They love to go after boats. It's a fucked up world out there in the jungle, man. I don't know if anybody gives a shit about hunting, but if you should follow Adam Greentree and on Instagram right now. He's doing an 8-day solo hunt in Australia, and you can like literally follow him step for step. It's wild as shit. But he's running across some wild shit. But off subject of polar bears and mooses that are not gentle, I wanted to ask you like what it was like to be your age in 2018, being a waitress at bars, going to bars, just trying to function as a human being at your age. Because I remember the 20s are fucked up, dude. 20s are rough. 20s are a shit bag of punches.
Yeah, people are really rude to you. They don't think you know what you're doing, even though you're working the same job as that they are. So that's a big plus. And no, but we get to see a lot of the crazy ass shit that happens all the time. Like, fuck.
Like shit,
I don't even know where to start.
Shit, you can't talk. Like I couldn't imagine being wait at 2 a.m. First of all, that shit would suck. I don't like to even go there anymore. But to have to serve some fucker that's drunk, probably being an asshole, and you have to wear short shorts too.
See, I haven't gotten anybody that's rude to me yet, but I look kind of mean sometimes.
I could get that.
Yeah.
I could get that.
And then they see me smile and they're like, "Oh, she's not mean."
See, I mean,
we're not sure.
It's kind of a setup though. They're like, "Here, wear these short shorts. Go serve these people. They're drunk. Do the best you can."
You make the most money.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. I tell my wife. I tell every female. If you're a female, and you don't know this, the vagina runs the world.
Facts.
It absolutely runs it. Like, in the end, it runs. Like, think about presidents, all the scandals. What is it about? Grabbing pussies. Bill Clinton getting blowjobs, which essentially is, in the same category. He was going for the V in the end. And then, John F. Kennedy, everybody, all of them, everything that's bad usually happening. It runs the world, but girls just don't. Most girls don't know how to do it. They're either too shy to like put a little cleavage out there to get an extra tip, which I totally get. But if I was a girl thinking with my man brain, I'm like, all I got to do, because all men are just big goofy monkeys.
Just gotta pay them a little bit of attention.
That's it. Like just stroke their little egos.
Pretend they're funny. Just laugh at all their jokes, and then they think they're like the man, and then they tip you.
If every girl knew, if you just like if a waitress and you're a female and you walk up and you got your little boobs pooched up and your short shorts that got you in, and like you do all of what you said, and you just go to a guy and like every guy, give all of them this look too, because there could be 7 guys, they're all stupid, horny, half drunk monkey dudes.
Yeah, you give them all the same, and you treat them all the same, so you keep them all guessing who does she really flirt
you got to
with?
eyeball throughout the whole process. You got to give each one of them a good like scan with your eyes and make sure they see you doing it. And they're going, "Oh, dude, yeah, dude." No, bro, she's checking me out, bro.
Yeah, then they're all going to be like, no,
dude,
she's checking me out.
Dude.
Like, are you sure?
But how many times do you do all that extra shit and then not get tipped?
It doesn't happen too often. But when it does...
You don't say bad shit about stuff or people very often, though.
No. I don't really like talking bad.
But there's nothing bad about being truthful.
You're right.
You can be truthful and not be negative.
That is... sometimes true.
And if you do tell the truth to somebody and they get negative about it, it's probably because it's the truth.
It's the truth. Yeah, that happens a lot, and people get really mad. But
how did you?
Is that?
Oh, I don't know. We were just talking about this moose clip, bro. My buddy John was asking how we got to the moose and polar bear conversation. Anyway, but like
viral on Twitter.
So when you do all the extra work or any work you do as a way, I always wonder what it's like to get a shit tip. Say it's 100. Let's say what's the average meal you think you see the most?
Well, like at a restaurant, the average meal would be like $80, like depending on the family. Usually like 4.
Yeah.
Or the table setting, like if there's 4. Usually you get a lot of business people during the weekdays.
$80 to $100 though.
Yeah.
So
it'd be like 20% of that. So they have to leave you like $18 to $20, and
that never happens.
Sometimes it doesn't happen.
Who tips the best? What age range?
Usually, people closer to my age tip really good. My friends definitely are the best tippers in the world.
That's hilarious. That was
Yeah, like
Because I'd be like, hey, fuck, you paid
They hook it up.
$88.
they hook it up, so you still pay them, so they keep the rest of it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but
That's the point of hooking it up.
So you're so pretty much you're telling me everybody. I don't believe that. I think I'm pretty because I've talked to some waitresses who are like, these motherfuckers ain't tipping, but like $3, $4,
See,
$7.
whenever they're
Like somebody tips you $3. It's 2018. You know why people tip $3 still is because our parents would tip. You could get away with a $3 to $5 tip.
That's what they think it's okay. But see,
That's not a tip.
the thing with when I see things like that, a lot of people like to complain about things that aren't really happening. So they're like, oh, I got a $3 tip on what? A $15 tab? That's good.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, they don't see it that way. They just want to complain about something. So I get to see both sides of that sometimes. And it's just like, oh my God.
I just think I told a waitress, my rule is this: you can't control what the food tastes like or how it's prepared, or when it gets there. You can only control. I mean, and you really can't control what gets on the plate in the end. You can put the right order in, but they might put the right shit down. So, but what you can control is if my fluid cup is full and I drink the fuck out of it. And I've literally told people, you should bring that pitcher of water and just leave it here. Save yourself some time.
I usually, when they say that, I'm like, how about I bring you two?
That all you gotta do is
you bring two.
if they
they
keep
chug
it
the
full,
first one. You take it. You stand there. You wait for them to finish it. You take it and you refill it.
You do that. You keep my cup full of whatever I'm drinking. $20 for sure. Whatever it could be a $30. I mean, I've left. Me and Brandy ate. I don't forget where, but it was like $60 or something, and I left like a $30 tip.
See, sometimes I usually, that's my number one thing, because that is very true, and one of my bosses taught me that when I was very young.
Keep the drink full.
Yeah, because we were diner downtown, so it's coffee, and nobody wants to wait for coffee. They want their coffee now, and they want it hot. So you're there at all times.
That's true. Old men don't give a fuck about your feelings.
They don't care, and they don't want creamer or sugar, so don't ask them. Just pour them some damn black coffee.
Where's that girl with that goddamn coffee? I've already drank this one. She was just, it's been like an hour since I seen her. You're thinking,
sat down 3 minutes ago.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun.
I loved it, but they were all so sweet. You get to know them all, and they're all cranky because they're old, but they're sweet in the inside somewhere. Even if they never smile.
Here's the thing: is that's kind of reason I wanted you on here is because you're a millennial. What'd you say? You're the last.
I'm barely a millennial.
Well, here's the thing: the normal what they say millennial is like a person that doesn't work. She doesn't fit none of those categories, but her age group she sees from that age group as the same as a millennial. So that's really one wrong here. Different, fresh, like you're saying, the old angry person. You know what the old angry person had to go through though? Either Vietnam, World War II.
Yeah.
Like we got it fucking easy, dude. Like super easy. So that's why everybody's so like. That's why we were talking about. People have like color book rooms in college for people that are like they have rooms. They have rooms that you can go and feel safe, which is retarded because you're creating a weak, soft person in a very vicious fucking environment, a very scary world. And then on top,
I don't think that's the right way to go about it. But something needs to be done about it.
Well, you can't stop.
I don't know.
You can't stop the madness. So you can't nerf the world. You just got to put on some armor. And the problem is we think it's all scary. The armor that we have to wear just for like everyday life is very minimal compared to what the old man. God damn it! The reason he's pissed is because when he was like our age, he was either getting shot at or like I will always talk about the guys in Normandy on those. You know what I'm talking about? D-Day. Beach.
Oh, yes.
Those little fucking tuna can, like convertible top tuna cans that floated full of 19-year-old boys. And when they came up on, like most of them were getting shot before they even hit water. Hit land.
I remember watching it or like seeing pictures of it.
Think about that. This is what happened. Not many made it through that. You're pulling up in this convertible fucking army tank, which is a horrible idea. Hey, let's go to storm this beach and the machine gun bunkers are way on top of this hill.
Like, are you sure? Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, they're shooting down on you, so they have a great vantage point, and then they're going to drive you up in the ocean to the beach when you have like 60 to 100 pounds worth of shit on you, And then the problem is what happened to a lot of them is those boats, when they dropped the door out, they were like still 13 foot, 14 foot. A lot of guys drowned because it was so heavy. They were supposed to jump in like knee deep, ankle deep water they could run.
And hell no.
And then on top of that, you're standing in there. The door's not even open, so you can't even run. And while you're standing there, people are getting picked off. Ding, ding, and getting hit. Your brains are getting thrown all over you before you even get there.
Have you ever watched Drunk History?
No, that's a funny name, though.
Okay, you would be perfect on Drunk History. It's on Hulu. I don't know where else it's on.
What's it about?
It's literally historians
Just get drunk?
get shit-faced and tell stories about history.
That probably is, because they're probably real passionate.
Yeah, and they laugh, and they as they're telling, they like get drunk and they like do that live, and then they go back and they do like a reenactment of whatever they're saying. So like the actors are like enhancing like their words or whatever, and
Right.
like this like old timey like clothes and style of the picture, but you can hear them like whenever they laugh, like they'll mimic their laughs too because they're
genuine as
drunk.
shit.
Yeah, it's really good.
But think about that. We're talking about color books because somebody said something that you didn't like. Literally, somebody's face made a sound that you didn't like, and you have to go somewhere you to feel safe. Same age people, not very long ago, in a fucking convertible tank that floats, getting shot at with bunkers on top of a hill, a suicide mission. And they're like, "You're fucking doing it, man. Like, you have no choice. This is what you're going." And they're like, "Okay." That's the reason that old man is gripey and wants his fucking coffee.
Do you think maybe if they were nicer to him, he would be nicer to us?
Maybe if they didn't put him in a fucking tank with
Like,
no top and shoot at him.
When people are mean to me, I end up feeling bad for them because I think of that. I'm like, what did they go through to be such jerks?
You know what?
I feel bad for them.
I've been reading lots of books,
Sorry.
and I gotta quit saying reading. I don't read. I do read, but
I listen to books.
yeah. So
You're one of those.
I've read a lot about like into that's like instead of getting upset about somebody, it's like, oh, man, what happened to you, dude? Like, what are you mad about? Something happened to make you mad.
My mom taught me that when I was little.
You know, but something else that's true, I do believe, is some people are just fucking born
They're
shits.
psychopaths.
Yeah, like evil.
And the weird thing, I like out of all, remember how I talked about how I don't like looking at bad shit in the world?
Yeah.
I love the way, like, I was like learning about psychopathic minds, like, and how they work. And I don't know why.
Just psychopathic ones, not normal ones?
Yeah. Well, no, like normal ones interest me too.
My mom,
like, that's what my degree's in.
My mom's degree's in psychology.
I want to, like, psychopaths, like, for some reason, they interest me. And, like, I work with children. Like, my degree is focused towards children. And then I go home and, like, watch some documentary on psychopaths or something. Or read an article or whatever.
My mom is a psychology major. That's what she got hers in. She worked at a crazy house to where, maybe that's why I'm into that shit too. But because I'll tell you, there's more people, but to where they had one lady that wore a straitjacket made of leather because she could snap the fucking normal ones. And there's different buildings on this facility with tunnels under the ground to carry the super crazy motherfuckers. And they have these bigger guys carry her around. And one time she would always do crazy stuff. But one time the worst thing she said was and in crazy houses, on the movies where the doors are locked, she said that's bullshit. It's not allowed to lock people indoors. Like when they're in the rubber rooms, the doors are not locked.
Because they need to get them out in case anything bad happens.
Well, I mean, even in the padded room, they said like the doors are not locked.
Yeah, they just have guards at the doors.
My dad was saying he would visit my mom and walk through this place. He said, and they're like, it's like, if I'm saying this right, there was like beds everywhere, and like it's like a big open room where everybody sleeps and hangs out. He said they'd be fucking each other and doing all kinds of shitting on the ground and like crazy.
What?
Yeah, they're all crazy as fuck. So my mom said this lady walks up and she's tapping the window and got blood all over some scissors. The crazy, like super strong lady.
God.
And she's like, I stabbed a nurse. She didn't stab a nurse. She stabbed herself just fucking with them. But then both my uncles, and I don't know where the death row is, if it's in Illinois, where they're from. They were both psychologists for, I guess, the prisons, in one for both in death row. I don't know which uncle it was, but he was Ted Bundy's psychologist.
That is fucking cool.
And my other uncle told, my mom was telling me a story. She said, no, or was it him? He said the most evil, terrifying man or human he's ever came in contact with was the Highway 50. I might have it wrong. I wish I could Google it. The Highway 51 murderer, and this guy was a little bitty dude, and he would take a shotgun, and he would I think he would pretend he had a flat or something and get people to pull over and help him. Couples is what he liked the most, and he would literally make the dude watch him, I think, rape his wife or girlfriend, and then he would shove the shotgun up her little and blow her.
Oh my God.
That's how he killed her, and then
That
shoot
is
the guy.
awful.
He said that guy was literally just completely done. No
Did
way.
not give a fuck.
He said it's scary. He said you look at him and you're like, oh, that dude's straight evil, just an evil
Oh
person.
my God.
But they worked at death. They're all psychologists, all of my family. I mean, my mom. Now that I think about that, that's crazy. That's what my mom, when she was raising us, she's always trying to break shit down. But the thing was, why all the ass whoopings? You're a you're supposed to be learn about the brain.
Sometimes you
listen.
don't fucking listen, and you still need your ass whooped so you can sit down and listen.
Her job is to listen and figure it out, and then make adjustments. Her adjustment was well, we don't do Xanax here, but we do this thing called ass whippings. I will whoop the fuck out of you until you act right. I got ass whippings until I was legitimate ass whippings until I was 17 or 18. Last time my mom beat me was with the fly swatter, the metal ones with the rubber at the end. She pulls the rubber part off.
Oh, it just hits you with. You're fucked then.
Ditches the rubber, and she's like, and goes to work. My mom, it was fair game from the back of the knees to the neck. And she was beating the fuck, cussing and shit. And then the phone rings.
What'd you do to piss her off?
I forgot. I said something smart ass. And phone rings, and she says something. She was like, she's cussing me out. My brother and my dad are right there laughing. And she stops whooping my ass. It goes from to hello. And it was the funniest shit in the world. We all lost it. But she beat the shit out of me with that thing.
Yeah. See, that's
what's wrong. I'm retarded.
I didn't get hit much.
I'm retarded, but I don't need coloring books when people call me a fucking asshole or make me,
Yeah, me either.
I don't worry about that.
But there's a lot of sensitive people in the world, sadly. But I don't know.
You don't get offended very, very easily?
No, just because
you look at it a different way.
Yeah, I was raised to always know who you are on the inside. So if people are talking about you on the outside, and you know that shit isn't true, why the fuck you worried about it?
Right.
Feeding it attention. That's
true.
Because you want more attention. You don't have enough. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's a good way to look at it, maybe.
So
worrying about.
We were taught to be background.
So you're saying worrying about people's opinions, feeding off that's another way to get your own attention.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Because what's the point? Why are you worried about what they're thinking about? Worry about what you're doing, and promise you'll probably move a lot faster than they do.
I can speak from experience because, like every other human being, when I was in high school, I'm trying to think when I really started not really giving a fuck about. It was in my early 20s when I'm like, I don't really care anymore about what you think. But after I did that, I was like, this shit got easier. And I was a lot nicer to people.
Yeah.
And then the people that were mean to me, I was like, I still was pretty crazy up to
See, I'm not going to let anyone pick on me.
No, you shouldn't.
You know what I mean? But I will let it slide and pretend I didn't hear you the first time or two.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, hey, that's enough.
Right.
And then that they see I'm a little serious. Like I said, sometimes I give off a mean vibe.
Here's the thing about nowadays people talking tough, hey, cut it out. There's a lot of hey, cut it out, or hey, that's enough, and not enough smacking, because I'm sure.
See, I've never been in a fight.
You never? Oh.
No, I've never.
I have 22?
never. Yes, I have never pissed anyone off that bad that they wanted to fight me. I can say that because I don't know. They don't need to.
I mean, I can't say that, but I can't say somebody's not made. I'm
like a peacemaker. You know what I mean? Usually when people want to fight, I've always hung out with a lot of boys, and when they're growing up, 16, they get pissed off real easily, especially when they're drunk. So then you're there, and then all the other boys hype them up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then you turn out to be the only girl there, and you're just trying to be the fucking mediator, so no one gets their ass kicked. And then because afterwards, no matter what, you're still the girl in the group, so you have to take care of whoever got hurt. So either you break up the fight now, or you have hours of work to clean up.
Nurse and bullshit and broken stuff.
So that's what I learned.
I was that. I was extraordinarily easy to fucking go psychopath.
Why are y'all triggered so easily?
I was. It's just. I think it's all male thing. Is you're like. You're prepubescent. You've got hormones. You're fucking testosterone. Just shit's going crazy.
I'm the man.
You're starting to like realize I'm getting muscles. I'm kind of big. Like when you're in high school, you feel like you're a grown up. You feel like you're grown up size. I look now at high school kids. I'm like, look at that kid. That kid is it's like a little tiny person.
I was listening to some kids at work talk about tripping acid, and it made me want to do some. And then I was like, I asked them if they could get some or whatever, and they looked at me like I was crazy. And then they realized because they were 16, like, yeah. I mean, I did acid and I was 17.
Hey, I'm gonna just say, for just a warning to anybody that's ever thinking about taking psilocybin mushrooms or psychedelics at all, I would wait until you're like 25 because
do it,
or at least to 20.
You're good at
your
16.
brain hasn't fully developed. And there are people like there's huge benefits that can be had from them, but there are those guys that have done it at a young age. I have friends, and I bet a few guys on here that listen know my friends that I'm talking about, and they're permafried. They're fucking gone, man. They're gone. Like I have a friend that comes around the corner, like if this is a corner of a wall. This is the wall.
Looking at the corner.
This is the wall. You're here. This is how he comes around every corner now. Like he creeps.
Like he's just like sketch.
It's bad. And
okay.
But he's gone. You'll see. I ain't seen him forever, but we'd sit there and hang out in this back. We're all just bullshitting, smoking weed, and drinking beer. We're young, dude. Like 20.
Yeah, I have
something.
a couple of friends that are permanently
gone.
fried. Yeah.
Because your brain, you're 16, man. You're a fucking idiot.
But don't take that much.
Prepubescent.
You can take it once. I'm a bad influence.
I wouldn't.
But I'm doing just fine. And if not, it made me a better person. Maybe be nicer.
Yeah.
Or like.
Well, I can't say I can speak from experience, but
no, you met me after acid.
I never, and I suggest that. Well, it all does different stuff. I would say. If you're going to do something, I would do psilocybin mushrooms because LSD is definitely manufactured.
Definitely.
And psilocybin mushrooms from the earth, and it has its own energy. It'll teach you something that it can learn. It already knows. LSD is.
Have you ever done DMT?
No, I won't going to.
But yeah, that shit's the bomb.
I'm going to. I'm doing the Dennis McKenna method where you take 2 big rips, and then right when you think that you're about to go down, you take one more big rip. 3
to 4.
So you hear that crack at the top of your brain. You go to the next dimension, wherever you go. Talk to L's. Terrence McKenna is one of the most. I've been listening to a lot of his stuff. That's one of the most interesting human beings.
Yeah, at one point I felt like I was just floating. Like I wasn't anything but like at all, and I was just floating, and I felt completely like peaceful, but I was tripping like at the same time, but like.
They say that it's almost
everything around me. I could see it like moving, but I felt like I was floating in that same room, and just
you're in the room that you're in.
Yeah, but like I felt at peace with everything, and like there was people in the room, so like I could see like colors coming out of like their bodies, but like they're changing because they're just like maybe like moving from side to side.
You didn't do enough.
So they like. No,
you needed to do more.
I did need to do more.
McKenna said you
because
you
I was
can't
scared.
even see nothing. Yeah, and you didn't close your eyes, did you?
Nope.
You got to close your eyes.
I got scared.
But if you do, he says if you do enough DMT.
You do DMT and then tell me that you're going to close your eyes. When everything looks so fucking beautiful.
I'm closing. Well, no, because it looks better when your eyes are closed. Because you're
okay, I've been there. I've been there with acid.
You're having 2 worlds like clash.
Yeah.
So you close your eyes and you're going to see something that you can't see.
Well, my friends always talked about the breakthrough. And that's what you're talking about, the like being on the next level shit. And I've never broken through, but I feel like
because you probably won't let go.
Oh,
you probably fight it.
Yeah, probably.
The thing about
I like to be in control of my mind.
You can't be there. That's the thing.
That's why I don't do that.
That's why. Well, see, that's the thing is you.
But I like to trip, so it's just like.
Yeah, you do like the fun stuff.
Yeah.
I think the way I like to do it is do a heroic dose or whatever you want to call it. Do enough that you're gonna go to where like you can't party with people. Like,
oh yeah,
and you
we've
find
been
out
there
you find
with
out how
mushrooms.
you find out how bad. I think the mushrooms are the best. You find out how bad. You find out how you find out all the bad stuff that you know that stuff like everybody can relate to this. It's never done nothing. When you're laying in bed and you can say you don't relate to it or not, but you do. When you're laying in bed late at night, when you're a kid or whatever, or when you're whatever by yourself, and those creepy thoughts come up in the back of your head that you try to like start
and
shooing
you're just
away.
like, why did I do that to myself?
Or you shoo those, but most people shoo them away. When you do this, it's so intense. It's like you can't shoo them away. You either have to battle with them and fight them, and then they'll be bad, or you can accept them, learn from them, let them be what they are, and then like it'll be good. I'm gonna go. I would like to go next year. I don't know if it's gonna happen next year or not. For sure, the next 2 years, me and Brandy are gonna go to Peru and do ayahuasca ceremony for. I think it's like 7 days or 8 days, and you do 6 ayahuasca ceremonies.
Oh God,
That's real shit.
That sounds really cool.
Have you heard of ayahuasca?
Yes.
That's real shit.
I saw it on a movie. I can't remember. It was like a Netflix.
You should watch a few documentaries about it. It's pretty intense.
Well, there's this show on Vice. It's called like someone's pharmacopoeia.
I think I've seen that, but it's talking about the ayahuasca clinics that are in United States. Right. These are in Peru. The reason I say I want to go to Peru is because that's where it's originated from, and they say that plant is like the nature plant. Like it shows you the jungle. It shows you like all like the old Aztec and like it comes from that area. So like that's what when you're going through that journey, that's what you're presented with, a lot of that type of stuff.
Yeah, but they like yell in your face, don't they?
No,
which was that one?
No,
maybe I'm thinking about.
They have Icaros and shit. It sounds like rain, kind of like.
Okay.
Like, and then they have these. I forgot what it's like. These dried leaves, but they're called shamans or something. And they shake them, and they'll set the tempo.
Okay.
And like what usually happens is like what happens every time is you go in there with a group of like 8 people, and it's dark. Going like 9 o'clock. It's a dark hut. You drink your ayahuasca. You have your area. You sit there, and they say for like 30 minutes, you're just. Hey, I'm in Kentucky. I have a BMW. Just talking normal shit. 30 minutes on the dot, the shaman starts playing the Icaros and starts playing music. And immediately, like every documentary I've watched, 30 minutes on the dot, everybody in there starts going, you purge. Like you either throw up, and they say it's a purge.
That's a word.
But they say it's like a purge of like all the bad stuff.
It's like whenever
but you purge out of both
ecstasy.
ends. You can purge out of both ends. And then after that, it's like, the first few ceremonies are super intense. Like everybody's in there's like screaming. It's like super bad, but you got to get through all the bad. You have to like all that stuff you're fighting. Like you have to. They say you pretty much have to die. Like get rid. Like you realize you die the first few times to get through to the good stuff.
Fuck that.
Till you start learning. You got to get to learn about like what it is, what you are, what like the questions you have. But if you keep fighting, it's hard to get past that.
I can do that with books. I hope.
Well, that's just not for. That's just not for everybody.
I want these people.
I
want these people to write down like what they went through and me read about it, their experience.
And
but like,
it's never really the same.
No, I would probably freak out.
You can meditate. No, you can.
Yeah, I do that already.
I would be like, I would start by meditating. Sit down for 5 minutes.
Well, I do that already by myself.
That's
you know
a good
what I
way.
mean? So,
that's a good way.
Like, and I try to like teach myself like how to think on different like like views in life and just be more open like to more ideas and things like that. Yeah,
like I just realized here lately that the transgender stuff, like there for a while, dude, I was tripped out about it.
Get over it.
Yeah, man, I'm not tripping. Like,
well,
but here's my thing about the transgender deal. Like, if you're like being mad at me because, like, let's say you're a bad transgender, and I call you him or her by accident, and I don't mean to, and I'm like, I apologize. You gotta accept that apology.
Yeah, most definitely.
You can't go because you gotta realize. First of all, you gotta realize. Dude, look at you. You're 6'4", 250, arm hair with a wig on. Stop. You don't look like it's hard to say, ma'am.
I've just at that point I've learned to say hey.
Or the or the ones now that can switch back and forth
whenever
they want to.
I'm a waitress, and sometimes you just don't know what a person is, and you just have to say. You just use all of the other words that you can think of besides him and her. and he and she and
So
ma'am and sir.
So it's like you're too young to know like Saturday Night Live Pat. That's Pat, or it's like this that office.
Saturday Night Live is on streaming. Like I think it's on Hulu.
So do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, well back in the day, it was like a fucking huge deal.
I don't know how big it was.
It was huge.
I've heard
but
the stories.
There was a skit where they had we don't know what it was, a Pat called Pat because it could be a girl, guy named, and it was just you couldn't tell what it was, and no one, and it was like the whole skit was like doing what you're doing, like, so what kind of music do you like? Like trying to find out something like, oh, you're a girl.
And you can't.
It was the best. I know what you mean, but I'm to the point where I'm honest enough. I'll be like, okay, like I listened to a podcast on Aubrey Marcus. You know about Jason Ellis? You know Jason Ellis?
I do.
Jason Ellis back in the day was a professional skateboarder. So he started his little run. He got into like big into boxing and MMA. He's a fucking animal. Tattoos everywhere. Just a full like everybody in like he was like a big announcer for like Metal Militia, like motocross events. Well, this dude's like a fucking. It's different, man. This is well because he's one of my favorite dudes. Like back in the day, like he's a bisexual, but it's like he goes deep on this podcast with Aubrey Marcus. If you want to see some crazy shit, go to Aubrey Marcus's podcast. He's the owner of On It, and go to it's like a 55-minute podcast with Jason Ellis. You'll have your fucking face blown off, right? And like. If I had to talk to the guy, I'd be honest, like, hey, bro, I'm not like, I don't care what you do, but you're going to have to, like, give me a minute to process some shit. Because what you just told me was fucking intense as fuck. Like, you could have just left it as, I'm bi. And I'd be like, cool.
Yeah.
But now, since he went on, like, and told the details about it, I'm like, whoo. My wife was worried about it. Because she's not worried about it. She's just making a joke, I think. But she was talking some shit. So the dude took it in the butt, right? And he was like, "Hey, man,
again, women run the world because you can't tell if they're kidding or if they're being honest."
Well, she had some thought behind it, but then she was like,
a joke with intentions.
Yeah. But he was saying like, I've had girls like, dude, sucking, licking everything, and they're like, he's like, girls like crawling like after me in one room. He's like, that was the best it could ever be. He's like, until the dude like ramrodded him. He goes, and then I was like, oh man. He goes, it's nothing like, there's no toy. And like another dude, I'm like, she was like, Brandon goes, they're gonna put us out of business. Like if straight guys start figuring this out, I'm like, babe, first of all, he's different. You know what I'm saying? He didn't. He's something in there that lets him get to that point. You couldn't like they're gonna have to go in there with a doctor's finger one day to get my shit, and it's gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna be nothing that I'm excited about. So it's okay. The straight guys aren't gonna. I mean, a few of them might. You know what I'm saying, because a few of them might, but for the most part, you're straight. You're straight. You're bi. But dude, it was such an intense. It makes you realize that that shit right there is coming into like full swing mainstream. Like, well, there was a commercial we saw, and the whole commercial was transgender people and gay people.
Well, people are making a big deal about those two cheerleaders being put on the Rams cheerleading squad this year for the NFL.
For what?
They're two guy cheerleaders.
So what's wrong with that? There's always guy cheerleaders.
Like not on the NFL, not major leagues,
dude.
And they're making a big deal about it,
dude. Okay, first of all, let me tell you something. When guys get involved in cheerleading gets fucking dope.
Better.
Those girls fly in the air like 30. We used to have these girls.
That's what I said.
At least, I don't know, not every school had this because like some schools like had the cool band, some schools had the stomp girls that killed it. We had cheerleaders that were like the competition ones.
The fuck
they would throw this girl in the air. I'm not bullshitting you, to the gymnasium ceiling almost, and she would do these flips with her legs all spread out, looking all badass. It was and they would just catch her with her arms. No, dude, I'm all about. Why would we give a fuck? Who gives a fuck?
No, but people like they're just like, what the fuck? Like, no, we don't want that shit.
You're mad because some dude has a finger in a butt for a football game? That's what's going down. That's crazy.
They kill it though. They were like, I was watching
and they're athletes.
audition.
They're athletes.
Fuck, like I can't move
flips.
like that.
They can do flips and handstands, and they can pick people up and throw them in the air. Yeah,
sure.
That's weird.
Yeah. But that's what's happening right now.
I don't even know why. The only reason that there's a big deal about stuff like that is like people, the people that make the big deal, like, you know, if the people are still like, you can't be gay and be married, all that stuff, if that, all that in a bundle, like everything that comes with that, like transgender and all that stuff.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Well, you're like, that's wrong. It's like, dude, it's 2018.
You tell us to get over shit, y'all get over shit too.
It's like one of these things. Well, it's like, okay, it's like, if you can't like realize it's not a big deal, then you're gonna get left in the dust. But then it's like on the other end, when the people on that side are like, you have to be like, and they like put it out there like hard, like they fight it too hard, like you got to accept this, like you don't have to accept anything. So like, I don't have to accept. You don't have to. I don't accept anything. Like I don't accept. It's okay for you to touch little kids.
Oh,
you know,
no,
so
that's
I
not okay.
don't have to accept anything. But you don't have to be a dick face. Like you can be okay, just live with it.
I may not like you, but I would still be nice.
Well, it's
to
like
you.
throwing a stone. You're gonna get a stone back. You know what I'm saying? So
Pointless.
somebody's like, eventually you'll be like, one side's gonna be like, stop talking, let the other one just burn itself out. Because in 2018, if you're against gay anything or trans anything, eventually you're just gonna you're gonna be archaic.
Yeah.
It's not gonna people are like, whatever, dude. Like people are
no one's gonna like. No one really cares anymore. Like if like since like I work at Little
like
Woodrow's
13
now.
people, like 13 people in the world care.
Yeah. And if you care that much, like you're probably a dick and no one likes you anyway and no one liked you before. So you're just gonna keep picking the loser squad because
or you got gay tendencies, bro.
Or there's something in there.
Or you got gay tendencies, bro.
You definitely probably do. And you just don't know how to express those tendencies.
Or you and your best friend back in
y'all
grade school
probably
played together, and you're like, I don't know if I was supposed to do that. But now that you're older, you're like, I kind of liked it better than anything I've been doing.
Yeah,
that might be what's going on, and they just got some self-hate going on.
You need to reevaluate your life at that point. Think about it. Think why you're mad.
Man, I got some gay friends that are the fucking, and like, I used to be against like, like flamboyantly gay, like the ones that like wear this tiny jackets and the hat. And like, I fucking love them now. That's my favorite thing. If I'm walking out in public,
nice.
They're just awesome. They're like, you're like, look at this motherfucker just living it up over here. Like they're wearing a tiny jacket, a little cowboy hat. They got a fucking horn, and they're just a little dog in a bag, and they're just. That's the funniest shit ever. I'm like, this motherfucker don't give a fuck, at all. That's the best. I used to be weird. It used to weird me out. I'm not gonna lie. When I see two dudes kiss, it's a little like that. But I would never like. I think me and Deegan. I forgot where we were at. We saw two guys kiss in public, and Deegan like looked at me, and I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, so I didn't do like the huh. So I like gradually turned away, like it was two normal things. That's normal. I said a man and a woman kissing.
Yeah, like y'all just try to
something
pretend.
I've normally seen for the last 30 years of my life.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to shock, and I was like, and he's like, Dad. I was like, it's
still not normal for us down here.
No, not as much. Well, not in Midland, not here.
That's what I'm saying. Like here.
Yeah, this town. I was thinking about Texas in general, but like in this, but yeah, here, man. This place is. There's some. Was it Brandy just told me a story that she saw a oil field big fucking buff oil field dude?
Well, yeah.
No, she didn't see him, but this dude like big oil field, but all rough looking, comes into a hotel lobby, picks up a transgender, and walks out. Here.
Well, they're coming. Well, people are coming from everywhere to Midland to work here, and like working in the service industry, you get a lot of "Where are you from? Where are you from?"
Yeah, people trip out when I say here. Like, are you from here?
Yeah. I laugh and say not from here, and then they're like, "Haha, we can tell you're too." When I started at Woodrow's, they're like, "Where are you from? You're too happy." And I'm like, what is?
But honestly, like 15 years ago, this place is awesome. It's a great town to live in.
I heard that.
It's amazing. It was the best shit ever. Everybody's nice. Food was great. Everything was great. But big business brings everything down. I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Most of the people that are here, they're angry, are people that aren't from here, and they're like, "What the fuck do I have to do here?" Like,
they're like, "What is there to do here?" And they're like, "You're doing it." And they're like, I'm eating and drinking, and I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah, I'm living here, making money, but I'm still paying high ass costs to live here. And on top of that, it's ugly as fuck, and there's literally nothing to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty mad I live here. I want to live somewhere where there's mountains and it's greener.
If you could pick anywhere in the world, in the world.
In the world?
Sorry, I'm scrolling down over here.
Oh, I don't know. Up on a mountain on an island somewhere.
No, you gotta say a name of a place. That's just because they could be fucking here. They could be like right around the area.
It could be, and that's gonna be my island. So
I wouldn't leave America. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. How would I say I'm gonna leave America if I don't know how anything else is? I'm too nervous. I like to like.
Oh, New Zealand. New Zealand.
Honestly,
cool.
I was gonna say, well, yeah. If you like to fucking everything on the island can kill you.
That's okay. I lived in Juarez.
Every little plant. No, Juarez is nothing. They have fucking there's parts of the oceans you can't get in the water there. Nobody swims in that shit.
It's okay. I don't swim anyway.
Because you did. You're from Juarez.
No, I don't know how to swim. Good joke.
And actually, we've also got a river. You can walk right across that bitch.
Yeah, it's like a foot high.
When I was a kid, I remember when I was a kid, you could go over there and like get medicine. Like all the Americans go over there and get their medicine for cheap and come back. My grandparents. So I remember going and I watched the guys right there at Juarez. I don't say Juarez. I'm not that white person. And I'd watch them like float across and just walk, like right there at the border crossing. And now that I'm older, I'm like, why were they floating? They fucking and then now, you can walk across the fucking river.
Yeah.
It's not a river.
Back before 2011, like 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Before that time, every time you cross the border, they would look inside the vehicle, and they would just stare at you and be like, until you go, American citizen.
Yeah.
And if you weren't an American citizen, you would show them your little card that would let you go into the States. But fuck that shit. Just say American citizen.
How long did you live in Juarez?
Until I was 13.
Damn.
Yeah. I moved here in junior high.
So you have like real like, how people say, well, people say, I was born in Africa. And I'm like, how long you lived there? I left when I was 9 months. Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Oh.
13 years. So you're like molded by Mexico. How do you speak so good at English? You have no broken English. You sound like you're from like New Jersey or some shit.
I was forced to talk like this.
Well, yeah, you're in the United States.
My English teacher growing up was very bitchy about enunciation and how you pronounce
She
words.
did a good job. She did a good job.
And
Can you speak Spanish?
Yes.
That's fucking crazy. I never knew this.
Yes. I'm fluent.
So, but here, I do agree that, first of all, don't forget how to ever speak Spanish. And if you can learn Spanish, you're not a lazy fuck, you should learn it. But if wherever country you live in, you should probably learn that language. Like, if I go to Mexico, I can throw a shoe about you learning English. No one's going to give a fucking shit.
Nope, we don't care.
If you live in, I think English is the dumbest language. It's the easiest one to figure out because most people can speak it around the world.
Yeah.
Like,
because it mixes a bunch of different, like it has Latin roots, but it also has like
makes sense. There's a bunch of immigrants that came here.
Like the language itself is rooted. That's something I like too. Linguistics. The language is it's rooted all differently.
Because like Chinese is not going to be easy to figure that shit out. But Chinese people can speak English.
Yeah, and Spanish. Like it's nothing.
Yeah, but they're Chinese people.
Yeah,
they're superheroes.
They're literally the Japanese are so advanced in this world.
They have
that's why I think that's where I want to go. Japan.
Harvard has made it to where it's harder for Asian people to get in. They make their test scores harder.
Because they're just acing everything.
Yes, 100%. You can Google it. It's 100%
That's discrimination.
Yeah. And you know what though? Asian people never bitch about nothing. They just go, okay, I'm just gonna fix that. And I'm just gonna do that then.
I'm just gonna be better than you, by 10 times because my test is harder.
And that's the only reason they did it is because they can get away with it. Because they're not gonna bitch. They're not gonna bitch. The Asian people will not bitch. They'll just go fuck it.
Well, one day they will, because the Mexican people used to not bitch.
Nah, bro. Mexicans always been bitching. What are you talking about?
We still kind of don't.
Mexicans are like
we laugh at y'all's jokes and stuff. And then
y'all's jokes. You're an American, man. We're together. And to be
sorry, my bad. I forget.
If you really want to break it down, we're all from Africa, sub-Saharan Africa.
Yeah, definitely.
So
that's where it all originated from.
But first of all, you shouldn't laugh at anybody's jokes if it's not funny.
No. Sometimes it's so stupid that you laugh because it was stupid, not because it was funny.
Oh yeah, I laugh at all kinds of jokes like that. But I've heard Mexicans say those too, and I've heard all kinds of people say those. Just dumb people say those.
Yeah, for real.
But it's just a culture difference. Nobody should look down on the reason. I think the reason people look down on American culture, like especially Americans, is because I'm like, You guys don't feel unique. You don't feel like
You don't
special.
have anything. What do you have, man?
Everybody. No, we have everybody.
Yeah.
That's why no one feels unique here. Is because of course we're not. We're unique in the fact that everybody lives here. It's not just Russians, not just Japanese. It's like everybody.
We're unique because there's different cultures.
That's what's unique about
it. But then it separates us at the same time.
No, we separate. Our egos separate us.
Yes, but I feel like I don't know why.
Well,
even though we're the land of opportunity, why we're so against it at the same time. That's why I'm confused.
That's just dumb people, man.
That's why I'm confused.
Well, here, a lot of it is because a lot of people that are like me and you that are very free thinking. Also, people got to realize this: when we like to do podcasts, and we like to have freedom. We like to call cops and these people steal our shit. We like to have dumpsters. We like to have running water. That shit takes government structure and taxes and things that we fucking don't like. Yeah. But there's a bunch
of the government, but like y'all are cool sometimes.
But you got to have some sort of structure.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of shit that's definitely that they've ran off with. But people instead of like people want to like either have nothing or too much. It's like some of that stuff's good, some of it's bad. So it's like you got to realize that not everything's gonna be pretty. It can't all be fucking roses and stuff. Like somebody's gonna be poor, someone's gonna be rich.
Yeah, that's the circle of life. And that brings us back to like what we were talking at first. Like, sounds fucked up that those 2 kids lost their dad by a polar bear being eaten, but that's life.
You know what though? That dude fed that polar bear to satiate him to maybe make some babies and continue life down the road.
Yeah. So the polar bear is the winner here because they were that was technically we are really mean to animals and they're just trying to be.
Mean to each other. We're just mean. Yeah. Hey, don't get me started though, because I have friends that are like you, and I have this. Matter of fact, you should get on your phone right now and get on Instagram and look up "Nature is Metal," and I want you to like that or follow that, and you'll realize that animals make people look like fucking puppy dogs.
Yeah, we are their pawns in this.
Animals are vicious.
To nature, we are literally nothing.
Did you know there's mama bears, like a mom bear? Like its cub will die right in front of him, and she'll mourn for like 3 to 5 minutes, and then after that, the way their brains work, she'll forget the mourning process, and she'll see that baby as dead food, and she'll eat it. She'll eat her own baby.
Yeah.
People won't do that.
But they'll put their baby in a trash can. So
some people will, but not many.
But not
all
many.
Bears will. All bears
will eat their babies.
All of them. See the difference? What separates it? Yeah, scroll through that shit and fucking I'll pop your little Disney bubble. You've been watching too many cartoons your whole life.
No, like I was literally
a woodpecker pecking a baby bird's brains out of its head. I'm dead serious.
So growing up, I grew up like around farm animals and stuff. So I didn't think a lot of these like animals that I would hear about were real because I lived in like this fantasy world in my head. You know what I mean? And so I was watching this show about like hogs. And, like, I grew up around, like, pigs. So I didn't think hogs were real. I was like, no. Like, that's just a pig with horns. Like, dragons aren't real. Like, no, these things look like dragons. Like, with cross with a pig. Like, these are not real. And then I moved to Midland. And I'm 13, And we live out in the country. And there's this huge fucking hog. And my dad cannot do anything to kill it. He has to go inside and get his gun, which he hasn't fired in years because he's definitely not like a gun guy.
Good thing he had one.
Yeah, no, he has one. You know what I mean? But he's not.
I'm the same way. I'm not a gun guy. I'm not really a big gun guy, but guns are. You better have one. You know why? Because
growing up, it was like you have a gun, you're a bad guy. You don't want to have a gun because then you get involved in shit that you don't even want to get involved in. You know what I mean? Like if they just see you that you have one. Like, why the fuck you gotta, you know what I mean?
You do, motherfucker, come get this bitch.
Like, no, like, I don't want
because if I don't, you're gonna take what you want. You're gonna rape and pillage my kids and do it in front of my face. I'm about to watch.
But they were like, hey, like, I grew up in you don't get involved with anything. You stay in your own lane. Shit doesn't have to affect you. So if there's these people out there, like, trafficking drugs and killing people, you stay out of their fucking way. Because they're the people that they're killing. They did something to trigger that, like they don't go just assaulting innocent people. Although they do sometimes to hurt the original person.
I get that, but in the end of all ends, it's like being the bicycle rider that we've been having these people get hit on on their
they're
bikes?
stupid because they ride on the stop
Okay, now this is what you just said. This is what you just said. You can ride that bike and you want some miles, you know. You can either not have a gun and flow through the life, flow through that kind of lifestyle where cartels can come through and shoot you, and hope to God nothing happens. That, as in essentially riding your bike on the side of the fucking highway at 13 miles an hour while everybody else is going 70. Or you can take your ass to the sidewalk and get a gun. So just in case something ever happens, you have the best chance ever of surviving. Because I understand the trigger. First of all, if you have a gun, you shouldn't be flashing that bit. Don't. If you have a gun, if I ever own a gun, no one will ever know I own a gun until I shoot them with it, because that's what I had to do. You shouldn't flash your gun around. Don't be Billy the Kid. That motherfuckers might get shot. But if
I've been to Billy the Kid's jail cell in San Elizario.
That's pretty badass.
It's right outside of El Paso. It's like,
oh shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You know, I had a teacher that, I'm not even gonna say this right.
I think he died in there. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
In this jail cell?
I'm not sure.
I wonder if Billy the Kid was actually a badass. Like, you hear all these stories about these people that do all this crazy
back
shit.
in the day, like,
yeah, and tall tales can grow, man. I mean, think about the time between here and there. Like,
well, it was bad enough for them to have to build a prison just for him.
They built a prison just for Billy the Kid?
It's a one jail cell thing.
Hey.
It's like Billy the Kid's jail cell. Like, here you are. You know what I mean? This is where we got him, and this is where he's died. I'll
tell you what about that kind of lifestyle. Like, I always told my wife, like, I wanted to be a soldier, and if I died at 35 years old on a hill somewhere, fucking throwing bullets at bad guys, so be it. That's a cool way to go. You know, I left my mark. I did something.
Like, I did it.
I just did something. Because like all the stuff that people like laugh about, like that we talk about, a lot of the younger people like, that's stupid. We're over there. Like the reason we can talk like that is because there's really guys over there that do that. There's young people that like do shit like they go die for fuckers that they don't know. That's what it really takes in the end. Amongst all the weird, crazy battles that don't matter, that don't have freedom involved, but like, to die in the hell of gunfire like that and live this crazy life's cool, or to be like Billy the Kid, or like Nicky Barnes, or like Frank Lucas,
Bonnie and Clyde.
It's like you can live 80 years and float like a turd and then die, or you can live for like 40 and go out in a blaze of glory.
Yes, like Pablo Escobar, like, man,
yes. And he was actually, he did a lot of good things.
Yeah, he builds a lot of orphanages and hospitals.
I totally understand. I have actually a crush.
And he never did his drugs. He never did drugs. He never even drank as much. They said that he would drink a beer and smoked half a joint at night. That was it, to sleep.
I understand. Like, I'm infatuated with drug. I watch all documentaries. My wife's like, this is crazy. I'm telling you, me and Brandy, if we could live an alternate life, we'd totally go down like that. Like, we'd drive around, just fuck shit up and do crazy shit till they all shot us in like a car somewhere. We could totally do that. It's not a problem. If we didn't have kids, I might talk her into some crazy shit. If we didn't even have kids, I'd be like, babe, check this out. I got this money. I'm gonna get this cocaine, and we're gonna start selling this shit. And yada yada yada. Next thing you know, we're in a gunfight somewhere in Mexico.
Flip it.
I mean, I'm just trying to like do whatever I got to do to just be balling out.
I'm trying to find that person in my life. Like, let's not have kids and let's just try to stay out of prison.
I like the way you hold the microphone like you're a singer and it has a holder.
I know, but I was playing with this actually.
Oh, this little thing. What that is a stabilizer. So when you bump it like.
That's what I was playing with.
I know it serves a purpose, but to me, the reason I want this is because it looks cool as shit.
I just want to look cool.
That's what it's all about. So
who doesn't?
That's what's great about podcasts. You can get people to sit down with you and talk because they're like, oh, there's my like. If you have a decent setup, oh, this is like legit. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
And they'll sit down and talk to you and they'll say crazy shit.
See, we haven't even read what people are saying.
I try. Well, see, I try to not read as many comments because then I get away from the conversation. But then I also try to look over and see what's going on. And you haven't had everybody like that's Josh Wheeler, go Cowboys. Fuck the cow. I don't care. I really don't care.
I'm wrong person to talk football with.
what's crazy is I love football, but I have quit watching it over the past few years because it's got soft. Like it took the man out of it. The defensive guys can't hit because everybody gets hit in the head. And they turn.
I've always heard college football is the best football.
I mean, it's all the same, but it's like they're taking like the good hard hits away. It's like, hey, dude, you signed up for a full contact sport with giants that run fast.
Football players are fucking
okay. Nobody's putting like restrictions on UFC fighters and making their like hands wear weights to slow down the punches so it don't hurt so bad. No one's making NASCAR go 60.
But they're doing that to NFL.
They're like, you can't hit like defensive guys.
Sorry that I'm better than you.
Well,
that's what I would say.
Well, because you don't keep up with it, but like defensive guys, you're not allowed to hit head to head.
Well, yeah, like, no, that's cheating.
That's not cheating.
It hurts. Well, it can cause bad things.
That's why. That's what's wrong. Okay, here's the thing. Here's my argument. Duh, it's gonna fuck you up. You've been slamming yourself against other people.
You're gonna get concussions.
Right, but check this out. You signed up for that. You know what the consequences are. Shame on you for crying later when you're fucking ripping your teeth out in your bathroom because you lost your mind. Because that's what you did.
No, teaching how to hit correctly would make the sport more efficiently.
Well, they teach how to hit correctly best they can, but like they've taken it to where like guys that I'm played defense for all my whole life. You're a reaction guy. It's like you don't have a plan. It's like offense. The plan is to run this way, do this route. This is it.
But you just stop them.
Defensive guy like they react. So it's like the guy's jumping in the air. He's catching the ball in front of you. You just hit him. You react. Now you're going to go, how do I hit him? He's coming this way. I have to avoid his head. Like the guy in the Super Bowl or what? No.
It's more strategic. It's like martial arts. You know what I mean?
No, it's bullshit because it gives the offense a better...
like think about it like that. Like martial arts. Like if martial arts were strategic as they were, would they be as effective?
Yeah, but no one's bitching about fucking guys getting knocked unconscious every Saturday night.
Maybe they used to, and now they learned from it because they're so far more advanced than we are.
When you get head rocked, you're just
they are literally more advanced.
I just hate the fact that they take away from a sport that it's a violent sport and you should know what you're getting into, and when you're fucked up at the end, you should realize what you're getting into. But honestly, I love football.
Well, that's because they also ride bikes, and I'm just gonna fucking eat.
Yeah, I ride bikes too, but I don't even want my son to play anymore because the football's a little bit different. It's not like a big team sport. It's more. I've talked about this a lot on this podcast.
It's a money sport.
Well, even on the low range, it's like watch my play, watch what I did, like that one play I did, and all the 40 plays.
My mom brought all the snacks. What's good?
It's a lot different. Like if my son didn't play, I'd be cool with it because he ain't gonna get jacked up. Your knees, and he wants to play tackle at 8. You're going to get your knees hit. Your ACL tears at 8 just like it will at 30.
I don't want to be that. He's a boy, but yeah, he's a boy. He wants to get down and dirty. And if he sees you play, of course he wants to fucking play.
That's fine. I'm going to let him play. But it's just not.
You're just like, it's not worth it.
I'm going to tell him play offense. Shit. Because you can't react. Be a quarterback. You can't touch that guy anymore.
Nope. Them and the kicker, they're like the highest paid players, right?
No, I don't know how highest paid is, but it changes like every year. I think it's a receiver now. Brand, my wife just said Brandon College is the best football. Yeah, my wife is a fucking college Alabama. Like she loves Alabama. Like she gets. There's a few things that my wife gets like she's
passionate about.
Well, she like giddy. Like she laughs like a hyena. Like she laughs her laugh, and I've like literally played a YouTube hyena laugh in front of the kids after why she laughed. Everybody lost their mind. But she gets like over Christmas. Having sex with me.
Awesome.
Having sex with me. That's number one. And Alabama football. Like and like any like.
I think you rank up to Christmas. Like
nobody beats Christmas.
You don't beat it. I said rank up. You're up there with
I'm
Christmas.
up there with it, but Christmas is still pretty far. There's a gap.
You are. Yeah, sorry.
But I think I'm over Alabama football, which is a good thing because that's a pretty big deal. But yeah, and she loves. I don't give it. I like NFL. You know, I like NFL because there's 32 teams, and like in college there's like 40 fucking thousand. I don't know.
I just hear that they play better, like because they're not really. They're like trying to make it big.
Okay. Here's what I tell people.
But then high school is
probably almost. But here's the thing: your incentive in college is to go to the NFL, so you play hard to get that big check, that signing bonus. Well, everyone's like, you're more passionate. Okay, I get it, right? But you haven't been paid. You ain't seen no money yet. But when you get to the fucking league and you see this massive amount of money in your bank account all of a sudden, and they say, guess what? Game to game, your job is on the line. If you do not perform, we have no problem hacking your head off like that, and that giant check you see every week is now gone. That is more incentive than fucking making the league. Trust me. Because most of those guys know I'm not even going to make the fucking league. And some guys play for the league, play for hard.
True.
Playing for your fucking family to eat, or guys playing for their Lambo, they're playing hard. Trust me.
Lambos they're
Trust
important.
me. Why do you think people go roughneck? Guys like, I'm gonna go to college. They go roughneck and they make a few $1,000. Never seen that much money in their life, and they're like, well. And then next thing you know, 5 years later, they're fucking roughnecks.
I'm like, don't do that.
That happens quick.
Don't.
So people that think that college football,
come here, work for the summer, go home, and back to school.
Don't come here. Don't get in the oil field. Do something different and go live in like.
If this is your only option to make really good money, do it and take your opportunity.
Yeah.
But go back to school.
Yeah. Well,
so you can be in the office like your boss man that's out here. Making the real money.
I'm not really wanting to be in the office, and honestly, the way school goes now, I believe that school's kind of it's good, but they're teaching a lot of phony shit too. You can learn a lot from podcasts and books.
Oh, definitely.
Nowadays, there's so much information.
I don't feel like I have to pay a professor to half-ass teach me shit.
I'm listening.
Half-ass teach me
right
shit.
now, I'm listening to, I think it's like 16 different lectures for like Harvard and all these major professors, and it's through Audible books. They're just lectures. It's a class. It's a college class. I'm sitting through it.
But you don't get credit for it because you didn't pay for it.
I don't give a fuck about that paper.
No, fuck
I got the credit from here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter at that point.
When I have a conversation with somebody and they're like, "Oh, you know about that?" I'm like, "Yeah, a little bit."
I read about it. That's how I like to read about.
I read about it with my ears.
Oh, okay. I actually read.
I do read. But I listen to more books than I read.
Oh,
Well, I'll tell you what. I think I'm not sure if me and my wife are kid free, but if we are, we thought about moving around here. I'm not sure what she's doing over there. She's back over there somewhere. If she's still working, she's supposed to be getting ready if we are going to go out. If not, it'll be one of those nights where it's like, we're going out, and it's like, oh, what time is it? Fuck that. When you get a little older, like right now, it's like
old people problems.
No, it's not old people problems. What happens is you just get, it's just levels. Like it's seriously levels. Like when you're younger, trust me, I said the same shit. Like, oh, okay, hang inside. No. If I wanted to hang, trust me, I have some friends that are my age that can out party any 20 fucking year old because they've been doing it
because they're experienced partiers.
They never left.
Pros.
They never left that.
No, you can always leave the party, but the party never leaves you.
See, but when you get a certain age, you're like, I just don't want to do that right now. Like, because. Well, first of all, when I was your age, I could go to any bar by myself and know 10 people at every bar.
Me too.
That's how it is, right? When you start getting older.
And then people bite, and then, like, I'm a girl.
Yeah.
So, like, you can go by yourself and not know a damn soul in there. Like, I go to La Hacienda Vieja on Andrews Highway to go eat all the time. The bartender knows what I get. And I just order a michelada and order food to go and drink my michelada while I wait on my food. And more times than not, some random guy in there will pick up my tab and not say anything. You know what I mean? Like, I won't know who it fucking was.
Motherfucker. You know something I've noticed? I always watch people.
And sometimes they'll tell me, and that's because they want to talk to me.
Right, of course. No, they want some vagina or something.
But a lot of the times they don't want you to know. It's just people being fucking nice because they're like, oh, poor girl came out to eat by herself and got to-go food. She must be lonely. I'm just going to make her day.
Right. No shit, right? Let me give a tip. That's exactly what they think. Exactly what they you know that shit. Let me give a little tip to females about boys. If a guy offers to initiate conversation, you never met this person, and to initiate the conversation, they offer you some sort of gift. They had to purchase something in the form of a drink, an alcoholic drink.
Run away.
That dude is looking for one thing. He wants, for that $9 fucking Coca Cabana drink that you got, he wants the pussy.
But sometimes, like,
but if a guy says hi,
I attract nerds, and they'll start a conversation, and there's like, do you want me to buy you a drink or something? At that point, I'm just like, I mean, if you want to, but you don't really have to. Like, well, what do you want?
You should tell him this. You know what you should tell that guy? Say, we can just sit down and talk if you're nervous. I just want to talk to you because you seem interesting.
No,
you have to buy me a drink. Or you can buy me a drink, but you're not getting no pussy, nerd boy. Because if I'm just going to get some drinks.
I'm neither of those people.
Right.
I'm like somewhere in the middle. Like, I'm just going to.
If I was a chick, I would be like this. If you said hi to me, I'm like, and you look good, whatever, and I had the vibe was right.
I say
hi works. Okay, first of all, if a guy says hello and you're too much of a fucking bitch to talk to him, like, or he
That's
just like
weird.
he just says hi. He didn't offer you a drink. Like, hey, do you want to dance? Hey, do you want this drink? Like, here, I'll buy you a drink. No. Hi, my name's so and so. What's your name? I was over there. We're total strangers, and I came over to you because here's a good way. Here's a good way for guys to pick. Here's how I do it nowadays. Looking back on it, if I had to pick on a girl,
how to pick up chicks with Kyle 101.
If I'm here, I'm sitting in a scenario. I'm across the bar, and like every other bar scenario, you see a person, you're like, boom. I'd like to see that person naked. I'd like to know what they.
Everywhere you go,
that's how it works.
There's a person that you would like to see naked.
That's how it works. That's how the whole thing starts. Like you see a person, and you're like, oh, I'd like to see them naked. How do they talk about naked? And then they see you, and maybe they see you, and you lock eyes, and it's the whole not like awkward, like I don't want to see you look. It's like, hey, I see you, you see me. That look.
What's up?
Okay, you get that contact. Now it's fair game. It's like it's like as a man, you go, okay, she didn't find me repulsive. She actually looked at me and gave me like a smile. That's good. So I would do at that point. I would just walk straight to her, especially if you're awkward. Actually, this is for awkward guys. This is for the
awkward
nerd
guys are the kind of the best.
This is for the nerd guy that didn't want to talk to you, right? Because he know what to say. He's just really,
He's trying though.
Right. Here's what he should say. He should walk up because this is the most honest thing. Honesty is the way to go. He could walk straight to her and say, "Hi, my name is so and so. I know you don't know me, and I saw you from all the way across there, and you are a sexy person that I'd like to see naked. And I know it's
you might not, if someone told me that right up front, I don't know, I would probably look at you funny.
I'd go for it. But I like to see naked, which is how most interactions start with people like this between two different sexes, or maybe not two different sexes, but with us it's two different sexes. And she's sitting there going, "Oh my God!" So I would like to have a conversation and maybe get to know you, and if we can get beyond just your sexual attractions, we could develop something to a relationship. Now that I think about saying all that, that's probably terrible, but that's what's really going on.
Yeah, no.
You should probably just be like, "What's up, bitch? Let me get up in them guts."
If someone were to tell me that, I would probably laugh really hard. And I wouldn't take them serious. No. I would just laugh at them and then just like look at them. And
did
just
he get up in them guts?
What did you just say? And then if they repeat it, I'm like, "You're funny as shit." No, you have the guts to do that.
If you're a girl, a guy ever says, "Let me get up in them guts," be like, "Bitch, if you can get up in them guts, let me see it right now." Right now. Because if you get up in them guts, that thing is
ballsy.
Just tell them, and they're going to go, "Okay, get up in them guts. Let me get up in that pelvis." That's what we up. I'm in pelvis, not guts. Pelvis.
Just the pelvis.
Yeah. It's like it'll be under the belly button for sure.
Like around the gut area. That's all I could.
Yeah, like right where your pubes would be, like it's starting right there. I could probably get to there if I pushed really hard. That'd be more correct.
If we get in the right position.
Now, if a guy does say that to you, you should probably definitely talk to that guy because he's probably fucking hilarious.
Yeah, no.
And
that's what I was saying. Like I would look at I am really good at like knowing like when they're being serious and when they're not. And like usually if someone says something like that, they're not being serious and you just laugh at them.
I want to tell you a story one time. I was with a guy. And then you
roast them. They love it.
I was with the guy I worked with on on a drilling rig, and he always talked about how big his dick was. Like all day at work, every day.
I fucking hate that guy.
Me too. Because usually the guy has a tiny penis, right?
Yeah.
I ended up meeting up with this guy, a bunch of guys from the rig, not him, because he's a fuckhead, but he was with everybody, and we're in Odessa drinking, hanging out, and he's talking to these girls. He's just talking about his dick being blah, 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 this and this. And I was like, tired of this shit. I'm like, watch this. Look at my driller, watch this. Hey, if it's so big and cool, put that motherfucker in my hand. I'm like looking at my driller like this, hand out like this, and I am not bullshitting. He's like, a fucking
why did you do
summer sausage hits my hand. And at first I didn't know what happened. I looked and I realized I'm holding this dude's penis. And I dropped it immediately, and I was like, I apologize. And what was funny, the most funny part was he was all drunk, and he was being cocky. Those girls were there. There's 2 girls standing right there. Right there.
What did the girls think?
They were like, that motherfucker's too big to be anywhere near me, and they left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
He had, they were into him until
that point.
they saw that. And
Like,
they probably got in the
that.
car and were like, man, I appreciate that guy for taking that one for the team. Because if that shit would have got close to me later on, holy shit. But he did. I called him out, and then he called. There's nothing worse than calling somebody out thinking you're going to like show them up, and then they got what they're talking about. It's like Full House. Yeah, whatever, bitch. It's like, well, I would never put my hand out there. I 100% was thinking not happening. It happened. He definitely
he did it.
He won that one.
Sometimes like I bluff people like that all the time because I'm a waitress. So like people are always trying to like talk up and sound like the big shot and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I put them on the spot, and sometimes I get proven wrong. Sometimes I beat this guy at rock paper scissors, and he tipped me $50.
That's badass. That dude. Shout out that dude.
He was like, I either tip you 20%, which is what you deserve, or you beat me at rock paper scissors and tip me $50.
Oh, so you could lose everything.
No, he was going to tip me regardless, but this is between a $4 tip and a $50 tip because his tab was only $20-something.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he was an older guy, single dad. He looked really mean, right? Tatted up, jacked like you, but like tatted from like his head, like neck, everything. He was wearing Converse. He looked like a skateboarder a little bit, but like he's a lot older, you know what I mean? He just looked mean as fuck. And I just walked up there to him and was like the nicest person. I was like, are you not even going to smile at me? What a jerk. And it made him laugh. He's like, how are you going to call me a jerk? You don't know me.
That's
but like
hilarious.
I had to like, initiate something.
Break that fucking ball.
Yeah, and then it led to that, like to him fucking giving me $50. And I won fair and square, and I thought I was gonna lose. I suck at rock paper scissors. Like I literally laughed when he said rock paper scissors because I was like, you literally picked the game that I'm the worst at. Is it rock paper scissors shoot? Let me get the rules down
1, 2, 3,
first.
go.
Or
1,
like
2, 3.
Yeah, like I need to know when to strategize
because
then I'm just gonna fucking land on rock every time, and then you're gonna win.
The best thing I've ever done, because I lose a lot too, so probably shouldn't listen to me anyway. But whatever I do, I'm like, I'm gonna go rock, and then I like rock paper, and then if I have
never go rock first.
If I have a thought, whatever my pick is, we'll say scissors. Then I'm going scissors. My first thought, whatever. If my first thought sticks, I go with it. But if all of a sudden something pops up, I go with that second one. And I fucking always lose those. So maybe I should just stick with this shit.
You don't doubt yourself. You go with
no,
your
you
gut
should never
feeling.
doubt. You should definitely doubt. That's
Gut
the truth,
feeling.
man. You should. That's the universe telling you, hey, man, listen here.
I'm telling you something, and you're ignoring me because you're a dumb fuck.
Yeah, that's the truth. Well, I think we're about an hour and a half into this thing. I think
That's
we're gonna.
Good.
But well, I think me and I don't know if Brandy's already doing her hair. And girls take a long time. Well, actually,
a little. I don't do my hair, so like I don't know. I just like I get out of the shower. I can be ready in less than an hour just because I shower and I do my makeup.
Yeah. Well, Brandy. Yeah. Well, see, Brandy can do that. She can do like a thing where she doesn't do her hair. I always tell her wear her hair straight because I like it, and I guess it's probably easiest for her. I think for anybody because and I like it. Yeah. But she's always trying to. It seems like if you have straight hair, you try to do something extra. If you have curly hair, you want straight. But so it only takes her like 45 minutes to an hour to get. But with hair, like a full go.
Like curl it and everything.
Like a full fucking go. We're talking 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Like for real. No joke.
Nope.
I couldn't imagine having a vagina for that reason.
And then imagine like if you have to go get your nails done before that.
I don't get like that's the worst thing about being a girl. It's like we have to bleed every month, and then on top of that, we want to go have some drinks with our fucking man. It takes fucking half a day to get ready. it takes a half. Essentially, you work a half a work day getting ready to go out. So if you worked 8 hours, it's 12 before you can go out, and then you hope to God you get another 4 and just to fucking party.
Yep.
And that's what me and Brandy are like, fuck this, we're staying in our pajamas.
That's the cool thing about being a waitress. Your makeup's already done. You
Boom.
just fucking switch clothes.
Boom.
We're ready to rumble. Sometimes you just switch shoes. That's it.
Hey,
fuck
just stay there.
everything else, because you're going wherever you're going after work is because you just want to get your mind off of work, and you don't even care to go home and change. You just want to get drunk at that point and talk about your customers and how rude they were. So it's just like, all right, so we're closing the restaurant. Where are we going after this? Torino's? Because we can sit down and bullshit and smoke cigarettes and talk about how rude everyone was today.
It's a whole different life. The whole
fucking watch.
The whole waiter, waitress, late night. It's a whole culture of people.
Oh,
it's a whole different world.
Different.
It's a whole different world of the normal people. It's like 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, daytime guys working, go to bed at night, and then all of a sudden there's these people that go and live their daytime life, but they start that shit like 3 a.m.
Yeah,
you're one of those people.
Yes.
I'm glad that you're here and awake.
Yeah, I woke up at like 3 p.m. Well, actually, I fell asleep at like 4, and then I woke up at 8 with really terrible allergies to that storm.
You said, fuck this.
And I was awake until like noon, and I went back to bed until like 3. But regardless of the allergies, if I would have fallen asleep anyway, I would have slept until 3 p.m.
Right.
Like that was normal. Like,
so then you're off today and you have to go back to work tomorrow?
Yes, at 6 p.m. So tomorrow I work like 6 p.m. to like 2, 3 a.m.
So if you want to get good for some tips at Woodrow's at 6, y'all should go up there to Woodrow's tomorrow and you'll get good service.
Yes.
There's a few girls there that's got some big booties.
Well, I'm still in training, guys.
Yeah.
I'm still in training. Wait until after Sunday. I think I'm out.
But there's some girls up there that like depend on their booties to give them some tips.
No, just smile at the motherfucker.
You're there to take all their money, huh?
Yeah, I'm here to smile at you and make you feel comfortable.
And fill your glass
and
up.
Then, you're going to have a drink at all. Well, I'm going to try because sometimes the bartenders suck ass, so you can't like it. It's not that they suck or anything either. It's just
They're
like
slammed.
Yeah, we're super packed, and they have to take care of their customers while taking care of us at the same time, and that can get hectic. So calm the fuck down. If you want some water, I'll get you some water.
Yeah,
I can control that much.
For my YouTube friends that aren't from around here, this place doesn't have much to do. So Woodrow's opened up like 2 years ago, and it's still
the only thing to do here.
It's like the new spot still.
Still.
So she went to the Lion's Den to get that job.
Yeah, not really. I would go there to drink after I got off, and the bartenders were like, "You should come work here. You'd make a lot of money." So I went and applied. Within 15 minutes, hired.
Fucking job. I'm about to take all you bitches' money.
Yeah.
Your big booty shorts and all that shit ain't gonna work no more.
I'll wear shorts, but my butt's not that big.
And
I'll wear jeans and I'll just kill your money.
Yeah, and I'll fill your glass up,
and
bitch.
Then probably some guy's gonna look at me with a little more respect because he's gonna be like, "Oh, this girl's wearing jeans and she's not trying to show off. She's just."
I'm not gonna lie, like I'm the guy that's like,
waitressing.
If you suck at waitressing and you have a big booty, I'm gonna tip you a little bit. But if you're really good at waitressing and you have a big booty and then you're still wearing like really like showy stuff, you're getting extra good shit. Like, oh, you're cool as fuck, man. You don't mind all the cleavage in the booty.
But then you would get those guys that are like, oh, you're cool as fuck, but you're too show offy for me, so I'm not gonna tip you. So it balances out. So I'd rather be the other girl.
Those guys are fucking dumb. If you do a good fucking job and you're like rocking some shit out and making making wieners hard for money, then fuck those guys. Those guys are dicks, and they probably got like a fucking
gotten laid.
Or they have a girl that they fucking at home they can't stand, and they're like, I wish my girlfriend would wear stuff like that instead of wearing those potatoes. There's some shit out nowadays. These girls wear shit that's like stovepipe pants, like these pants that are like 12 inch, like Jinkos. And I'm like,
oh God,
it's like you have a figure and you just fucking ruined it. You just ruined it. It's like, what? What the fuck? How does that look good?
Well, I don't know how to like really
keep yoga pants around and like short shirts and tight.
Why do y'all get to wear the comfy clothes?
Because we don't have tits. We have dicks. No one wants to see a dick. Can we see my dick?
No one wants to see
it. Have dick cleavage. No one wants to see that shit.
No one wants to see that. Put it away.
There's nothing pretty about it. It has a dick is like a tool. Like you need it, and it's a tool, and you need it for the job. But you don't want to look at it. It's not like oh, it's a piece of art.
Yeah,
no, it's not a piece. It's a tool.
Like they draw women naked for a reason.
Right. Yeah. No one's like. Well, the David guy.
They covered up his dick, too. David covers up
that,
his
and he had
dick.
a very unoffensive dick. It was very small and not scary. If you had a
No.
guy like a big manly Viking fucking dude, or like some big fucking wrestler dude with a big old 12, you're like, I'm not fucking painting that guy. Get that scary thing out of here. I might attack somebody. But you get a girl in there that's naked, you're like, oh, soft boobs. We like this. Boom, easy. This makes sense. That's why we get comfy clothes. That's it. Because people don't give a shit about dicks. Even guys, like, we care about our dicks, but like, I mean, guys look at their dick in a different way than everybody else. Like, we think it's pretty and stuff, but
y'all admire it.
But we know for a fact that nobody, like, we know. It's like a Komodo dragon. Like, if you had a Komodo dragon pet, you're like, it's not pretty, but to you,
but it's cool as fuck.
right? But if you're the owner, you're like, it's a pretty, I love it. But everybody's like, that's a scary looking fucking thing. That's ugly. I don't see that thing. That's scary. I'm out of here. We literally like ate up. We've talked like another 15 minutes about some Komodo
What are we
dragons.
supposed to log off?
We don't have to log off any time, but I'm trying to make sure I get out of here within decent time because, like I said, we're old. And you said we're old. I'm not old. First of all, if you say you're old at 33, you're fucking.
You got problems.
It's over, man.
You have problems. I have people say that they're old at like 28, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. That's 5 years for me. Like almost 5 years.
It's not old, man. Like, wait till you hit 30 and go, oh, you're gonna realize it's just like all ages, like 20 to 30. It's just like a level. It's like a video game.
Yeah,
it's a level. And
that's what my mom says.
In the 30s, because like my dad says the same thing. He's like 57. He goes, I still think and feel like I'm 20. My body might have changed, but he's like, I have different experience. I'm better, but it's still the same dude. It's just different levels. That's all it is.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you came. That was hilarious. We started out with fucking polar bears, ended up with old people and ages now levels. But the polar bear thing is real. If you see fucking polar bear,
run away. I guess don't move at that point. You're just fucked. Just give a shout out to that you're going out to a polar bear, I guess.
You know what? Actually, just run at it. Go for it. Just attack it.
Just attack.
You're fucked.
Yeah, like just do your best.
Go out like it, because you know. Here's the thing.
At least try to fight it off.
Here's how I look at it. If the polar bear is coming at you and you run, and say there's a guy on a distant ship that can't help you, but he sees it, he busts out his camera or his cell phone camera. He films this. Your last moments are you running from a polar bear eating, which is terrible, and it'll get 1 million views because everybody sees it. Or it's you going out like a fucking Viking. You're like, oh my god, that polar bear's attacking that guy. Wait a minute, that guy's attacking the polar bear. And then like you die, of course.
They die anyway, but it was cool as fuck.
My son goes,
RIP.
how'd your dad go down? Dude, a polar bear attacked him. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, you don't understand though. When it was running at him, my dad started running at the polar bear, screaming and ripping his shirt off, like it beating his chest.
You gotta scare it at that point. Like,
I mean,
and it'd be more scared of you than you are of it.
No, it's this fact that you know you're gonna die, and you die with your fucking face in the dirt like a coward running, or with your face in the sun like a man fighting like a fucking badass, even though you know for a fact you're gonna get eaten ass first by a polar bear.
He prefers ass.
They do. They really do. All right, guys. I appreciate it. We had a good time. I appreciate you. I'm going to try to go party now. Hopefully we don't pull the whole not party thing. We're going to try our best to really party. I mean, it's Thursday. Thursday's now Friday. So, all right.
Friday is every day. But whatever.
Unless you're like an old person like me. Yeah. All right. Peace. We're out of here. That was a good one.